Here at Money 2020, I'm in the office of Green Dot. I'm here with the CEO, George Gresham. George, how are you today?
I'm good, Nami. How are you? Thanks for having me.
No problem. Doing great. So what brings you to Money 2020?
Well, we're here. It's a major conference for the year for payments and related companies. And, it's an important, critical event for us to meet with partners and colleagues and vendors. And so it's a key event on our calendar every year.
Can you explain, high level overview, what is Green Dot?
Sure. Green Dot is a founding innovator in payments and started about 24 years ago. We started in the business of general purpose reloadable prepaid debit with the mission of bringing financial services to those who are underserved by major financial institutions.
Okay.
So we started with a retail business where we distributed prepaid products in retail. We still do that to this day, although they're no longer prepaid products. They're regular demand deposit accounts, just like you would have at any other financial institution.
Okay.
We have a direct-to-consumer business where we sell the same product. We have a pay card business where we solve problems for employers and how they need to disperse pay to employees. We have a Green Dot network, which allows for people to bank and do transactions in a physical space without a bank branch.
Oh, wow.
So that's a very valuable part of business that we engage in. We perform financial transactions like disbursements and tax payments for third parties. And lastly, we're deeply involved in the embedded finance business, where we've just recently launched a brand we call ARC,
Okay.
which is the brand we're going to market with in order to encompass the products and solutions that need to be offered in order to do embedded finance.
So everyone talks about embedded finance. Can you give us a high level overview? What is embedded finance?
Sure. The people call it embedded finance. Sometimes they say banking as a service.
Yeah.
They use a lot of different descriptors. But basically, the way to think about it is a business has a customer relationship. That customer relationship could be a consumer or it could be a business. So it could be a business to business to business or business to consumer. And the idea is that they want to deepen and develop engagement with that consumer or that business partner of theirs. That means they want to put financial tools in front of those partners embedded in their application.
Got it.
And so they call it embedded finance because you're taking traditional banking tools, you're embedding them in a third party's customer experience, so to speak, so that the business and the customer benefit from that relationship. Some really classic examples are Apple Cash. So Apple is a partner of ours. And if you are using an Apple iPhone product and you want to P2P money on using Apple Cash, the bank behind that transaction embedded in the Apple app is Green Dot Corporation.
Nice. So that makes total sense. And this is what they say, like you look at traditional, like a vendor like an Apple, for instance, they're becoming a bank in a sense because of this embedded finance. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, they're emulating having a bank. Exactly. That's exactly right. Now, I will point out, as any good bank would do, is that the compliance and security associated with that transaction flows all the way through the Apple ecosphere. So they're emulating that experience. It's still, your deposit still sits in a bank, FDIC insured, just like if you have a JP Morgan Chase account or Wells Fargo account, same. So it's just simply moving the access to those sorts of products away from the bank into a brand that already has wide consumer adoption for some other purpose, phone usage and all the tools on an iPhone.
Of course. Yeah. No, that's really interesting. We look forward, we want to continue this discussion and really dive into it. But, last question, where do you see the industry going?
Well, embedded finance today, depending on how you think about the market penetration, is extremely small. So 1-2%. So
2%.
It's very, very small. So, in our view, embedded finance in 10 years is going to be everywhere, in every app. Now, it'd be different types of applications, different kind of financial tools, but it's going to be the most significant growth area for payment access, certainly in the United States, if not the world, over the next 10 years. So it's a tsunami of a trend that is going to be prevalent in the space. And so that's why we're investing in our brand ARC, to make sure we have the right product sets to be at the forefront of that.
So when you say, now that you said that, I'm like really have like so many questions. I know that this is a shorter interview.
Yeah.
So now with ARC, how does it work? You're going to now partner with other vendors out there that want to have embedded finance.
Let me give you an example. Let's say you're a grocery store chain.
Yeah.
You have an account base right now because people will sign up to your loyalty program.
Okay.
Right? Now that loyalty program, you can do some coupons, and you can obtain information from that app, but you can't deposit funds to it. Right? You can't move money through that app typically today. So let's say you want to do that. But what you're going to need is to embed into that account access to an FDIC insured banking account. And that bank account comes with regulatory obligations, BSA AML obligations. You need a processor. You need customer service for that type of transaction. There's this entire value chain that you need, but you're a grocer. You're not a payments professional. So you come to us, Green Dot, and ARC is that entire value chain. From account origination, fraud risk management, regulatory compliance, processing, networks, Visa, MasterCard, fulfillment, product, customer experience. That's ARC.
Wow. Huh. And from a grocery store perspective, they're not necessarily technical. How technical would they have to be to do that in type of integration?
Excellent question, because you have a choice. You can go to a marketplace and say, I'm going to go to a third-party bank and work with a bank, and I need to go get processing from some other third party. Then I need to go procure customer service from another third party. Then I need to get compliance and regulatory risk management expertise in-house. So that's one procurement methodology. If you come to Green Dot and ARC, we can offer all of that to you. We can be the single source, vertically integrated solution, and we're very unique in that way. There's really almost no other company that can do that in the United States today.
I promise, absolute last question, right?
Yeah.
Do you have situations, because I'm also looking at partnerships in which, let's say you have the grocery store example, let's say you have ARC. Are there fintech players now that can partner with Green Dot and you leverage Green Dot as like some type of white label service to then do that integration or become a service provider?
Well, generally the way we go to market, now there's others that go to the market in different ways, we provide an end-to-end solution. And so we may have fintech partners in the back end.
Okay.
So for example, if you need to do some compliance work around know your customer, because we have obligations to make sure we know who is doing a transaction, we might use a third party for that. That's a fintech provider. Now they'll be embedded into the ARC product offering.
Okay.
They are end user partner, they would not have, they don't have necessarily, they don't need to know who that partner is. They just need to know that service gets provided.
Got it.
So there is the answer to your question for us is somewhat yes, but generally we go to our partners completely as Green Dot /ARC end to end. And we have some provisioning partners that provide that. If you're going to a different kind of partner, you're not going to go to an end to end partner that has a bank. You are going to procure that KYC service from some third party. You'll have a negotiation, etc. We think that's a disadvantageous situation for you to be in because you don't know KYC. It's not your expertise. Your expertise is bananas, apples, and oranges, right? And so we want to solve that procurement problem for you.
Excellent. Very interested in following ARC. Interested definitely in having a longer discussion with you, but I thank you very much for your time today.
Absolutely. Pleasure is mine. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah, you bet.
Understanding the technology that powers the money is essential. Knowing the business drivers that inspire how the money is made is crucial. Bridging the gap between the mind of the technologist and the mind of the business is monumental. That is what TBF is all about. Let's start this never-ending conversation. It's time.